Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Ghost of Antietam event for you. 2 rounds of contention. The first one here is Orchards. You're seeing an overview of that and a lot of trees. And then you also have the Corn Crib, so it should be 2 great battles tonight. Thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you get live streams of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of everything we cover with no commentary and UI. So if you hate the commentary, go check out the Patreon. We got a couple regiments with us today. The CSA side, you got the Archers Brigade, 7th South Carolina, 27th South Carolina, 20th Georgia, 4th Georgia, 7th Louisiana. And on the Union side, you got 4th New Jersey, 3rd United States Horse Artillery, 2nd United States Sharpshooters, 5th Corps, Midwest Brigade, and the 1st Ohio. So going into our numbers today, it's about a 250-man server right now. Numbers are dead even, actually, which is great to see. Artillery is a one-man imbalance, so this really should be a fairly balanced map. Should be great. Frontline reporters today, the CSA view on the top left of your screen. You got Kramer from the 7th Louisiana. Very appreciative of him coming back and doing this again. And we have a new frontline reporter on the top right of your screen, which is Fatty from the 4th New Jersey. Co-commentating with me today is not Snow Cactus, but Luigi is a spy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, hello. It's me, Snow Cactus. So happy to be back again. No, for real. I had so much fun last time. I was really looking forward to doing this again. Thanks for having me back on, Eagle.
And I'm glad to have you back. It's been great. So, we're in contention. So, I mean, contention, there's not like a skirmish map where there's a set meta for anything specific. So, how do you like to play contention, or what are your thoughts about it?
With contention, I feel like it's the meta for almost all of the game modes so far in War of Rights, at least as of this moment. And that is really to group up and trust the regiments around you, or I guess say, getting off of your high horse and working together as a massive group and pushing back whichever side you're going against with everything that you have. Skirmishing is really important, and I feel is a underappreciated aspect of War of Rights. Um, a lot of people think that the big lines and the big groups are very important, but if you can have a good skirmishing group, especially on a strong contention match, it's gonna bring back a lot of rewards for you.
That is very true. So, this first point's in the middle of the woods. Union is arriving there first. CSA, unlike working as one big blob, as you might say, very spread out going in. You do have the first engagement. 7th LA is getting in here right away.
And it looks like they're paying the consequences already.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, I mean, 7th LA is going in. You have, who is that? 14th Tennessee just sitting back shooting. And I mean, they're engaging with the 2nd U.S. Sharps, which the 2nd U.S. Sharps got defeated. Surprisingly, Union captures.
There's going to be time for the CSA to come up with a rebuttal on this first capture, but like I said, with contention, I really think that it emphasizes the need for the current meta. It really shows that a lot of these regiments have to learn how to work together a lot stronger and work as one cohesive unit.
Working together in a team-based game, that's a concept.
Absolutely maniacal, unheard of, honestly.
So, let's see. CSA's trying to kind of envelop them right now. You got 7th LA, 4th Georgia on the left. The 1st South Carolina Horse Rifles going around the side. Only about 5 of them without a flag. Got 20th Georgia, 5th Alabama, and 7th South Carolina kind of in the center. And then pushing around the right side, you got the 1st LAB. Union just kind of blobbing around the point here, holding really to the left of it. Have some nice defilades. And CSA starting to inch their way closer to the point here.
Sounds like beating a dead horse at this point, but with the flag respawns, I feel it is a lot tougher for either team to shoot each other off of a point. But in a game mode like contention, I feel like that really is, unless you all group up as one, your only option is to try to weaken them up as much as you can and go in for one solid push.
Flag down, flag down.
Agreed. CSA does have some nice advantage, especially just because this point is in the middle of the woods. There's a lot of shade, a lot of cover. You don't have to really push to the open. You can kind of inch your way forward, which is what we've seen the CSA do on this left side. Granted, Union hasn't really defended this side. They have extended their line really far down the left. You got 1st Maryland, 2nd U.S., Sharps, Midwest, and 4th New Jersey, 3rd USHA. They're really extending left for... I don't know why they're so far to the left of the point.
No reason, honestly, yeah.
And this is gonna happen. Points being decapped.
7th LA pushing in, doing work. That's good to see.
So some Union movement here. And CSA decaps that point. Only 1st Maryland went in there. And they got defeated.
Let's see if CSA capitalizes and pushes up onto the point to help out 7th LA.
I mean, yeah, a good chunk of CSA is there. 8th Connecticut's now going in very depressingly. I see some Midwest Brigade tags. And this is fully represented by the ticket amount right now.
Right here.
Push in.
Clear him out.
I will say, contention I feel is one of the more underappreciated game modes.
Regroup 3rd, regroup 7th, regroup 7th.
4th New Jersey's now gonna go in.
Jersey in the line, march.
Bayonets
Line 'em
down.
up.
We're gonna die. Flag, stick with these guys.
4th Jersey, charge in.
Why? There's 6 of... Oh, here come a couple more, but it ain't gonna matter at this
Hold the
point.
You never killed Danny Boy.
There's a bunch more south.
Push him off, second. Push him off.
Come on, boys.
And southwest.
Hey,
Push the ball.
I will say, one of the more underappreciated tactics that I've seen getting used a lot more are feint from either side. A smaller group making themselves seem a lot larger than they actually are and diverting numbers to either end can be a really big play, especially in a game mode like Contention.
Good recovery.
Yeah, when groups, especially in the wooded areas where you can't really see as well, you gotta really realize where your enemy is and how many. Because, I mean, that just happened right here. I mean, you had a couple groups from CSA over here, and the whole Union line basically shifted over here to defend it. And it let the rest of the CSA team just roll up on the right. It was really bad positioning from Union. And they did not respond well.
Honestly, very well played out by the CSA. After that first tap and charge, I was hesitant to say the least, but it's very nice to see them working together as a unit.
So CSA kind of probing around the point. I mean, you got a couple guys here left. Not really anything major. But rest of Union's going to be spawning in at main without flags too. And that ain't going to be good. You have to hold the point for 7 minutes to fully cap. We're about a fourth of the way through that. So really like 5.5 minutes left. And those flags take 5 minutes to respawn. So with that all in mind, it's going to be really hard for Union to retake this point unless they want to charge. Which looks like they got one flag out there. You do have one flag for Union down here. I did see Union flag here. So, I mean, they have more flags than what I thought, but same point kind of stands.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Union tries to retake this point, especially without the flag. With how fast the respawn rate is, it really is a massive detriment. If you don't have a flag, it's going to be a rude awakening.
14 Tennessee playing this very smart. I mean, I don't know if they knew how many were there, but it's great. One Union guy faking that he's a ret, and he dies. Yeah.
They already have the advantage on point. I think it is smart to play offensive at this moment.
I mean, they wiped the flag. Union's probably going to get this back just because they're pulling off, but let's see how Union is trying to push this point. You got a good chunk of groups going behind, really 5th Corps CSA, are they?
This might be a rude. Oh, not the first. The first. Oh no, my boys. No, look. Wake up.
There's a couple Union coming their way.
Wake up, boys.
Yep, from the route, direct south.
Oh no, the crouch. Okay, they stood up. They're probably still out. Dang. First LAV, rest in peace. CSA is kind of noticing. 7th LA, 4th Georgia kind of turned around.
Prepare to brace, prepare to brace. Bandits down for.
Oh shit.
A strong-looking bayonet wall. We'll see if it holds.
Brace it, brace it, brace it, brace it.
What's up? We need to help over here.
We got him, we got him, we got him. About face, run
Union do wipe that group there. CSA flag is down. Union charging from the far side as well, just spearheading it to the point.
To the left, watch out. Rub to the left.
Yeah, kill him.
It's 3
Oh my
flags,
God,
too.
Someone fucking kill this guy.
See, this is the kind of blobbing I was talking about earlier. If they can get a larger group, which they're charging in on point, so I doubt it, but the large units like this really can carry a lot of weight in contention matches and skirmish matches especially.
CSA now kind of collapsing on this far side. A lot of CSA Union, they didn't have those flags over there, so they just kind of, even though they won those charges, they couldn't really get their forces back, and CSA are going to win that. Oh no. Are they going to charge their 4th flag in?
I don't think they know what they're charging into. If they were smart, that flag would be turning around right now.
I don't think we got friendlies on point.
Everyone else on the line.
Get out.
That was a good call on that flag bearer. That was a very good call.
Where's it? Get out. Good job. And you got a couple Union groups. 3rd USHA is still busting back here. 4th New Jersey is as well.
If I was the U.S., I would have called this point a while ago. I would start spreading out and getting ready to move to the next point, but that's just me.
Can be very hard to coordinate that for sure, but I do agree. I think that's kind of the cool part about contention is because if you know you can't take a point, you know you're going to lose a whole morale stage. So is it really worth losing a bunch of more tickets on top of that trying to take it? I just think it's a cool.
Exactly. It's like we were talking about before the broadcast started. It really is a larger game of chess, if you want to look at it that way. Contention is a really, really good mode for leaders and officers to really show their mettle and show what they're made of.
So Union, very disorganized still. I mean, you got a good chunk in Maine, but I mean, you got a regiment moving around the barn there. Union kind of scattered over here a little bit, but you do have a large blob. They probably have a flag here. Yep.
B-Corps.
Two, actually. It's the 2 that went out earlier. So Union's about to go down a whole morale stage, and we're going to see what this next point is momentarily. CSA should have the advantage just because they're all blobbed up and they got all those flags in the same spot.
Now we get to see the run of the next point. Where is it at?
Oh, that's real convenient for Union.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be very tough for them to get to, especially with CSA as close as they are.
The 3 artillery guys sure appreciate.
Oh, man. They are having a field day with this point. They're running to the caissons. They got to move.
And CSA is going to get there first, much more organized. I mean, you do have a respawn wave moving up. Some Union moving up, not going to be enough to really take that point, but...
This will be interesting to see. It seems the CSA is going to have to stand their ground out in the middle of that open field, while the Union will have the element of surprise. The forest all around and those sharp edges. It's going to be really interesting to see what they try to come up with here.
Yeah, I mean, they got some rocks here. They can hold on the snake fence kind of around. But, yeah, really, they're facing the woods for the most part. It'll be interesting to see. It seems Union's just kind of spear heading this spot here.
Oh, wow. They're showing a lot of fire discipline on this line. Those are some premium targets. If the CSA sees them, it's going to light up really soon.
Surely they see him.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. They're already skirmished out. Here they go.
CSA cap. What? There's no flag there. Must be glitched.
Huh.
Oh, 7th LA is walking right next to the whole Union line. 4th Georgia charging in, but it's very scattered. Union's about to go down to taking losses.
Screw you, buddy!
Crap, this could be
Actually insane to see how fast morale stages can drop in contention. This might be a very quick game if the U.S. doesn't come up with a quick cap.
Yeah, no, this point, if CSA holds this for the next, what, 6 minutes, Union's going to be down to breaking the last stand, so...
Boys, keep it up, keep it up.
This point is definitely going to be do or die for them.
Behind us to the left.
And we'll see what they
Question
do.
is,
Union shifting down the snake fence right now. I don't like the I don't know. Hold on the snake fence, my thought. Don't bulge in the open like that.
yeah, that's just giving the U.S. some premium targets.
You have some Union charging in here. And it looks like nearly all the Union is here. CSA trying to hold the spot, charging back in. And CSA is kind of half going in here. Great for Union.
If I was them, it would definitely be smart to fall back. They held that fence as long as they could. Now they need to find some better shooting positions. If I was them. It looks like they're finally falling back. They just lost too many numbers. Now the question is if this right wing of the CSA will fall in or hold their ground.
Yeah, they've chosen an interesting spot. I mean, like you were saying earlier, just not a lot of great spots for CSA to hold this point.
Here they come.
Or Union kind of pushing up 4th New Jersey going up here.
No, you're back!
First Sergeant Adam taking over the 4th New Jersey. Taking over the line.
Curious to see if the CSA artillery is going to start putting in some work here soon. They have that cannon. Oh!
Where'd it go?
I don't think it did a thing.
Did it explode right there? Or is that just... No, surely that's just smoke from the... I don't know.
The muskets.
Alright, we'll wait about 2 minutes and then go back. Probably a minute.
The CSA arty in contention, any arty for that matter, this is the nightmare game mode with how much movement is needed.
Union going in for a spearhead.
Take a step back. You're done, bud. You're done. No, you fucking missed. You suck.
Get off the fence.
Some Union going for the point as well. You can see that on the left.
It looks like they're taking some pretty heavy losses, but their numbers are just overwhelming.
More 7th LA shifting over to the rocks. You have a couple CSA groups behind. And CSA's charging the point here, trying to prevent this Union moving around the far side. I don't know where the flag is. You can really only look by that tiny circle now on the timer.
That has to be decor.
Holy shit,
They're gonna die. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay, I thought that would have done a lot more damage.
Oh. Oh no, impossible. You're doing great, buddy. And first MD charging in.
And Union stopped the cap. And Union's going to win that there. They're winning on this side as well. CSA has been really beaten back.
Yeah, looking at the terrain and what was around this point, I knew it was going to be very tough for any defender to hold, but that was painful to watch. Barry is getting pushed back every single engagement.
Get on me, let's move left. Second US on me.
Oh my God, come on.
Straight north, straight north.
Independent fire, straight north. Independent fire, straight north.
So the remaining CSA forming up on the snake fence there,
Independent fire,
starting to hit
straight north.
shots. Great shot, Fatty.
They should be able to have time, the CSA, to reconvene and push back the point, but that depends how quick they can organize.
See, I don't get why'd they scatter like that.
And typical first SCUR activities. I love you too, Madre.
So you got CSA starting to form up in Maine. I mean, you do have some respawn waves here. One holding the stick there.
Right side, right side.
Love that
They're trying
glitch.
to flank us.
Rally. Rally to the stick. Firmly grasp it.
Watch out to the west as well.
I wonder if the CSA is holding in spawn and moving as a blob or moving out regimentally. They got a lot of ground to cover.
Hey, double quick, double quick.
See, you got 14th. I see 7th Tennessee moving up as a group. I mean, you got a chunk of CSA. Oh, CSA has a nice spawn. Nice little view. 20th Georgia, 7th South Carolina. I see some 5th Corps and 1st Ohio.
It does, but you never know. The straight bullets are a thing in this game.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, you got one down CSA flag there. Union holding up on the opposite side of the fence where the CSA were at. So CSA has a chance to jump scare them.
They definitely do, but I will say that the U.S., the Union, they definitely have the defensive positions that I would want to take if I was in this point of contention. Having those picket lines, even with the CSA spawn behind you, it offers you the most cover and
message me about anime
really does.
right now, and I don't know who they are.
Anime recommendations, let's go. I don't even remember what I was saying. I want to know what he's watching.
I know. War writes anime win. So 14th and 7th. Remember, these guys don't have a flag. All CSA flags are either down or in the distance with that group. So
they're definitely playing it careful, which is expected.
Those are friendlies. Are those friendlies?
They're calling friendlies.
Yeah.
and they're a little confused.
Oh.
Rebels behind!
Oh, and their cover
Oh.
has been blown. Oh no!
To the star, boys. Press on the new line up.
Hold here until they make
Nope.
Holy crap! Union's holding all the way out here. 8th Connecticut is.
14th is going to be running into a nasty trap here, sandwiched between them like that.
Oh.
Oh, and they're pulling back. That's good to see.
This is a weird round. This is weird. Some CSA starting to hold up on the snake fence on the side. CSA's got about 3.5 minutes to decap that point.
They're gonna have to run it down these picket lines. That's their only choice to push back the Union right now. If they can do that, then they have a shot at the flag.
You have some Union. I don't like this decision at all. You're out by yourself. Granted, they have similar numbers to CSA here, but I don't know about that. You do have CSA movement out on this far side here. Looks like they're shifting up to the rocks, trying to get closer to that point.
If they try to go for that flag, they're going to get shredded. Oh, with
20th
20th
going.
coming up, they might have a chance.
lines in the bush northeast.
Let's see what they can do.
Independent fire.
Yeah, that's us.
14th and 7th Tennessee are still kind of vibing in the corn there.
Get up there, flag, get up there.
This is the point where the CSA needs to converge as one. It's hard with runners and everything to work as a unit when they're this far spread out, but in this enfilade right here, anyone getting onto that flag is just going to be getting torn to shreds.
Yeah, this never works, because even if you take the point, you're going to lose so many guys to the point where the enemy can just charge out and retake it. I mean, now,
Exactly.
actually, CSA is really converging on that rock, but they're not in a great spot. We haven't really seen, well, rip the artillery for CSA. This is their one chance, and they get charged.
Oh, man. I feel in situations like this, you really have to take control of the field before you try to go for the Hail Mary.
Yeah, the CSA is really kind of risking it, because right now, ticket-wise, I mean, Union's going to be ahead if they take this point.
We're getting shattered here. We're getting slaughtered.
Like I said, it was going to be do or die, and as of this moment, I think the CSA's recognized that as well.
To the new line.
Shoot that fucker! Shoot him!
And I mean, CSA, although they have some cover, they're all balled up in one spot. Union spreading out. This is just a
Easy
massive
shots.
You're stuck with him. You're stuck here with I need to fucking reload, so.
Ain't shit, boys, ain't shit.
Smoke them, fellas. Get them.
All right, gentlemen.
Back to the big tree.
Like, look at how many bodies are here.
Yeah, they're piling up fast. This is, yep, that's the right decision. Get those flags out of there while you still can.
And CSA might actually hit breaking.
At this point, I think the only thing the CSA can do is try to maintain their engaged morale level. Anything above that is out of reach at this point. They have to give up this point.
They lose a flag. Yeah, they lost a flag.
Oh, they are? Okay.
That's going to be tough for them to come back from.
It will indeed. So, points taken, I mean, right next to CSA spawn. CSA could not have asked for a better round with these flag spawns. It's right next to their spawn. And here goes the mad dash. CSA going back for their flag.
It's good to get their flags, but at this point they have the CSA spawn. They have the good point that they can hold. It's out in the woods where both attacker and defender are going to be on the even ground, all things considered. It's just going to be interesting to see how the Union capitalizes being closer to this point than the CSA was.
Thank you for picking up the flag. Kicking. 4th New Jersey's moving down. CSA's kind of ignoring that. Some are fighting, some aren't. I mean, biggest thing
7th
is
LA.
Get back here. Get back here.
Get him away from
Oh, we got the flag.
4th of Jersey, pull back, pull back.
Oh, we just... What the heck is happening here?
Brace, gentlemen.
You let them live for a little too long.
It's a slapping match going on.
Charging happening at the point already. 5th Corps is getting in here. CSA hits breaking.
This is the moment where if I was the CSA, I would tell everyone to fall back, group up as one, and get ready for one massive charge from a flank, straight into it, whatever. But this spread out activity from all the regiments is only going to cost tickets and give the Union the flag on a silver platter.
Wow, you guys really suck.
And I will say it's a lot easier,
I need someone to raise
the
this up.
armchair spectator view, to call out what you see, but
What do you mean? I mean, everyone down here can see what we're seeing.
Well, being spread out in all these different regiments, it can be a lot. It's very difficult, especially in contention, to send runners back and forth and try to make a mass charge on a point. But
I think
definitely,
officers in the next upgrades get a little map that shows where everyone's at.
well, here we go. We're gonna see what 14th and 7th and everyone else can bring to the table.
They're point blank. I mean, CSA is a little scattered out, but
there goes Meat Cutter. A rabid dog let loose on the Union.
Clean these cuts out. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Clean them out. Let's go, boys. Get them. There we go, boys. There we go. That's it, boys. There you go. That's it. Get this cut. Let's go. Get them done.
yeah, they win that charge there. Point is in Union's favor, but being decapped right now.
I'm taking down this stupid.
Yeah, you do have a couple Union
B Corps hold back and get their spawns.
Get that flag.
This has been really fascinating. Whichever team gets to the point first has an issue of holding it. It's really weird.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
Defending in this game can be very difficult, but it's going to be interesting to see how the CSA, with the closer spawn point and everything else in between, can capitalize on the situation.
Let's go. Stop firing.
Down here, down here, down here.
I mean, regardless, assuming someone wins this point, someone's hitting last stand.
Yep, and it's going to happen sooner rather than later.
So CSA kind of formed up, starting to get a little defensive position here. If CSA can push out a little bit, they have a real nice def lead. They can hold Union's holding on the top of it, so they're in a very good spot. But
They would definitely have to put Fifth Corps off of this hill here.
Up on the line. Up on the line. 4th New Jersey, right side. Forming up on the right.
Someone pick up this flag.
You guys push it up. Push this flag. We're taking a lot of casualties.
You should back up more.
Suspect Maryland.
so CSA very content. Looks like they're having some guys hold up in the open here, take shots, really surrounding the point. I mean, you just got a lot of natural cover with the trees and everything.
Get back up to your line. Make your line.
CSA seems to be moving as one giant line right now. It's
What the?
very good to see. Why?
Time for the bayonet.
First stage, come on, crowd back, come over here, first stage.
That might have worked in a 1 in a trillion chance.
Oh God, what's happening?
Bonk. Bonk. No, Gimli.
Watch it.
You get Doctor Strange on your case to see the future. Anyways, Union still not really in force. A lot moving out from Maine right now, and they'll hit breaking any second. CSA kind of really overextending. You got first LEB going on the far left side. It's not a bad spot. Any further than this would be, but
I think from this point they have a good line from
Let's go, boy.
the Union holding to the outside of the point, possibly even the Union coming back from their own spawn.
Let's go. You guys can cut the ground. You have bucket ball. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Deny the ground to your front.
yeah. I like where the 14th is holding. They're starting to push up to kind of that defilade spot. You have more CSA moving that way. 7th South Carolina was moving up there briefly. And CSA is going to go around here. 7th LA is. I don't like this. You have the point. You just defend it. There's no need to try to wipe your opponent.
They're isolating themselves. It could be a good flank if they pull it off, but they're in open view running across this field. It's just going to cause pickets if they get seen.
It's very risky, is basically what I'm saying. High risk, but high
If it
reward.
pays off,
Right.
Second, line it up, southeast, facing southeast.
I mean, the biggest thing is we know someone's going to hit last stand, assuming someone takes the point, which CSA should probably take this point, I reckon. At that point, at CSA, you just don't want to get in the last stand and possibly have a draw with the Union.
Yep.
Alright,
It looks like they're about to pull them into breaking. The CSA pulling the Union into breaking.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the risk is way too high for pulling out like this. Especially like this. Like, what is this doing?
Full 4 players against V4. Let's see what they can bring.
Oh, they got 1 kill, 1 death. 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills.
Actually, I think they were pulling off of this point already, but that actually went a lot better than I think it ever would have.
What the heck? How?
Hey, congratulations and applause, boys. Hip hip hooray. Let's go.
First, South Carolina pushing up. I mean, Union looking some kind of pulling back, some kind of charge question mark.
Enemy front close.
See, now this running out into the middle of an open field in front of the CSA skirmish line.
What? They're not even looking at the CSA skirmish line to their left.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, first LAB. Get him, boys! Get him, boys! Oh. I have no bias.
No bias here. We are perfectly neutral. CSA pushing really far out. I think they're probably charging Union group because I think we have a downed Union flag. Yeah. Second U.S. Sharps getting wiped out here. I mean, Union really spread out. I'm kind of confused why.
I don't know why they're holding back this much. If they're waiting to group up together and make one final push, they have to do it now.
They got 2 minutes. And it takes like 30, 40 seconds to lower that flag. Which is what they got to do.
Yep.
Because, I mean, if Union prevents CSA from getting this point, knocks them in the last stand, they could probably win this game based on morale stage.
Yeah, this contention, this is why I love contention. It is always a point per point battle.
Fuck yeah.
In a skirmish or any other game mode, you can tell the outcome of the game pretty early on. With contention, though, it is a how does each team respond to each new point, their surroundings, and their team play?
Agreed entirely. Yeah, I agree entirely. I mean, it's looking like CSA is going to win. It's about like a minute left before CSA wins this point and Union hits last stand. At that point,
Yep.
CSA just needs to prevent the next point from being capped.
Yep, and regardless of where it is, they're going to be able to just charge into it and hold it with all they can.
Yeah, and yeah, just let the clock run down to 0. It's being decapped. Union's on the point winning. CSA turning around 7th LA. They're going to get wiped. I mean the Union. But here comes more 5th Corps.
Behind us, guys, turn around.
See what First MD is able to do.
CSA collapsing on the point.
Well, we got your flag, so you're dead, so haha.
That's the smartest decision they could be making at this moment.
And you got Union in the far distance too, slowly moving up, but CSA is going to win this point. Biggest thing for CSA is to just not hit last stand and prevent, just have no one cap the next point. Unless it's you.
They're just giving away their flag at that point.
Union charging in here. They're going to hit last stand in like 3 seconds.
There you go. And, yep. Every single one of these Union boys that die is just going to make it harder to hold the next point. I think this game is in the books.
What?
Oh, wow.
Why are... This is my only problem with contention, is all these points are closer to CSA spawn.
Yeah, it can definitely favor a certain faction. And even if it is RNG, it's absolutely infuriating if you're on the opposing side of it.
I think a good idea for contention would be like it starts off at a middle point, and then let's say CSA wins, the next point is closer to Union spawn, and then if Union wins that next point, it goes back to that middle point. It's kind of like
a push and a pull.
Yeah.
Yep, this is gonna be Union's last chance here, and being in last stand as they are, they're gonna have to pick off a lot of CSA to even have a chance to hold this point.
Are they gonna get to the point?
I don't think they're even gonna be able to get there in time. No.
Well, I mean, I guess as the round's kind of ticking down, CSA should probably win this. I mean, you got any thoughts?
I think that both teams played all 3 points very, like, to the best of their ability, right? That first point was absolutely amazing to watch. The CSA consolidate, push together, and hold as a giant line, right? They did really well. They were able to draw out the Union, drain tickets, and eventually push them off and take it. The second point, however, was a very clear lesson in what having like trees and bushes, absolute cover all around you, how much that can factor into the win of a match.
Oh shit.
When you don't have the layout around you to hold a position, you can cap the point, but you don't have to stay on the point. I feel like they should have consolidated their groups a lot better, fallen back a bit more, and fought back the Union, but I feel like the Union did really well on that second point. And then the third point, what is there to say? It was just an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah, that sums up the round pretty dang good. I do wonder, I don't think it's going to happen, but I mean, the clocks, I don't think CSA should bother capping this because the clock's going to hit 0 and then you'll win based on morale stage. But yeah, I mean, good round from CSA. On that first point, Union kind of blundered. They overextended way too far to the left when CSA wasn't there. I mean, they were there, but they weren't. But that second point, Union did a pretty good job. CSA kind of spread themselves out badly, similar to what the Union had in the first point there. And then that last point, it's pretty much self-explanatory. But really good match. Union put up a lot better of a fight than I thought they were going to, especially after that first point. Very good overall. With that being said, we will see you shortly for round number 2 on the Corn Crib. Alrighty, here we are for round number 2, Corn Crib. Let's get a smaller contention map. The first point is here right by the lovely Union Artillery, which Artillery should have a much better time this go around. Speaking of numbers, we're up to 260 now. Grow at about 10 over the course of the last round. 2-man and balanced Artillery numbers, exactly the same. So, beautiful all around. And anyways, you got Union Artillery. You saw them right by the point. You got CSA Artillery over here. So, let's see how this goes. I think Corn Crib's just a unique map just because both, I mean, Union spawns right there, CSA spawns right there, the map's here. It's just interesting because normally you might have like Union spawn over on that side and CSA spawn over there, but no, they basically spawn near each other, which is fascinating.
They already have met in the middle, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Engagement already here. Not a whole lot, but...
Oh my god.
First SCOR going up against, who is that? First MD?
Yep.
Keep going.
Behind the barn.
Behind the barn.
Coffin Kill leading that. And I don't know. Granted, CSA is, again, very spread out themselves, moving out kind of in their own individual groups. 20th Georgia leading over here, but Union's going to get to this point. I mean, defensive position is not great here. They can hold up against the snake fence, but CSA can move through the corn. Anyways, looks like we already got some engagement here in the center. .14th up here. Looks like they're falling back right away. And Union's going to get this point as CSA is very spread out.
Yeah, they are definitely going on a follow me basis per regiment, and that is when I feel both teams can kind of fall apart in their structure. It definitely shows every single game when a team can spread out like this and just not come up with anything that really sticks.
But Union's not defending the point. I didn't look over here. This is a great spot for Union to hold. They got a nice little defilade here, but they're putting their whole team here on the left side, and CSA is hitting this at the exact point they should. Which is
yep, I would be using that cornfield for cover all the way up till this last push. If you can at least get a hold of that point and then fall back into the corn, it's going to be really tough for the Union to dislodge them.
Canister. Kowalski, come here.
I mean,
Low canister.
Union even has some defilade next to the point here, so this is really confusing. Union going down the corner side, first MD. They're going to catch CSA off guard, but they're really outnumbered.
That's a smart play, and we're going to see if surprise makes a difference.
Shit. Yep, southeast.
Holy crap.
First MD just absolutely wiped this CSA line.
That's absurd.
That was very impressive to watch.
I mean, you got some CSA didn't even realize what was going on here.
Oh shit! Yankee, get back here! On me, first NH, on me.
I'm on you.
So I mean, first Ohio's there. I don't know if they know what they're walking into. Or...
Hey, friendly!
I think if they did know, they would turn tail and run the other way.
I just shit, you fucking squeaker.
Aww. Come on, give him some grace. He just graduated.
Oh, canister just ripped through there. I mean, 7th South Carolina, 20th Georgia on the point. Some others trying to decap, but it ain't gonna work.
Is the CSA just in a firing line facing off against that left flank?
I don't want the
Yeah.
point.
Oh, it seems they're trying to go for a push here. Let's see if anything happens.
The first LAB is there, skirmishing off. You got 14th and 7th pushing up, but Union's pulling back. CSA really had an advantage at the beginning of this point, and it's kind of gone now.
MD in that push down that picket line really changed the first tide of this.
Brace.
It did. That was absurd. CSA starting to move out, gonna push the Union. K-Sounds now. Union's kind of over on the right, not in the center, but Union's turning inward. Are we surprised? Coffin Kill leading the way again with first MD. They're gonna charge up behind these guys.
See, now I will say Coffin, an absolute genius when it comes to leading men on the battlefield. I've talked to him before. He's a great guy to talk to, and watching him from the sky, he's absolutely just weeping left and right everywhere he carries his medal.
And Union's completely retaking the field.
Just absolutely cleaned up right there. That was rough to watch.
And first LEB endures.
Hey, you know what? Those are my boys. Those are my brothers. Hey, shout out Frog Pirate, you beautiful son of a bitch. I love you.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yep.
I thought that said anime.
These bullets.
Oh, good old Amy.
Yeah, that just reminded
Good
me.
old
It
Amy.
just reminded me about the anime comment from last round. Okay, this is
If you need to talk anime, another shout out. Good old Hectic. There we go.
There we go. 8th Connecticut moving very far out with Kevin in front. I mean, 7th LA is definitely going to get caught a little off guard here.
Yeah, they don't have a single person looking left. This is about to be very painful. Oh no. They were already on that fence line by the time the first "we're getting charged" came out.
Right face, up and over.
So at this point for CSA, you don't contest the point. Again, it's a really tiny map.
All back.
You got 1 point here. The rest of the points are in this direction. You can see 3 of them. You got 1 over there by that officer marker. You got 1 in the center, 1 a little further back, and then there is 1 down this row side here. There it is. So
This point's already lost. If I was the CSA, I would be falling back into the woods here to the southwest. I would be holing up onto that picket line just to the right and waiting for the next line to, or the next contention point to pop, because you're not going to be making any difference at this point. Oh, first LAB, turn around! Boys, wake up! Run!
Why would you even try to reload? Dumbass. Dumb fuck. Fuck you. You're not
one CSA group's going for the point. Rip first LAB. Also, this guy just got hit by artillery. Anyways.
dumb fuck. Don't stab each other, boys.
Dang, so first LAB doesn't get to avoid it after all. Unfortunate. What are we doing, 20 Georgia? I love the aggression. Nope, they're turning around.
Yeah, right back around.
Yep.
They showed their teeth and immediately realized they were about to lose them.
They were going to get cooked.
Down to the right on the medium.
So, where's the next point going to be? CSA's holding in okay spots.
It seems like the Union is getting ready for a lunge forward as well. See, this can be very favorable for the CSA. You have the forest all at the back towards your spawn. You can take a lot of cover there and still have the flag on the opposite side of that picket right there.
Indeed, it's a good spot. I mean, when the flag's in the open, whoever has control of the point's going to have that advantage, just because, again, you got to go through an open field to get it. So, Union's kind of moving in 2-ish groups. CSA, again, independently moving out in separate groups. And 20th Georgia is going to die anyways.
Oh.
Good, sir.
A little bit of a skirmish in the corn.
Oh, yeah, CSA artillery, there they go. They get the shine a little bit here. Oh, they got some good hits. Of course, I look away when that happens, so I can still keep my narrative that artillery sucks. Anyways.
If they keep the aim down that main road and aim towards the corn, they might be able to make an impact. But overall, it's a very short run, as we're seeing right here, and already it makes it no difference at all.
This is fascinating. So 8th Connecticut just goes right through the open field. 7th LA is going to sweep that. Maybe they tried to get behind them, but ain't really going to work out. You have a couple more Union just dive bombing into the woods, trying to get
At this point, it's very good in theory, being able to get behind the CSA lines and disrupt them holding this tree line. I think that they have the right idea, but if they have the numbers to back it up, that's going to be an entirely other question.
Yeah, it looks like Looks like the 4 guys there are going to make it out. Union, you do have some on that corner side, but the rest are going to charge through CSA artillery here.
Just stop him out, please.
Oh.
Oh, wow! That
Oh shit. Oh shit.
that was actually very satisfying to watch.
That was great. The perfect angle, too.
Strike the rifles.
Use the cannons as cover.
Union take the cannons from the CSA. You do have some more movement over here. Looking back on the wood. Well, that died. Anyways.
Battle line on my right. Independent fire.
With New Jersey moving in.
Independent fire.
Fuck, I didn't have a load.
All right, let's see how they fare running down these pickets here.
Move up there, move up there, move up there.
Oh, and for all my Union listeners, they are pickets, not peaks and valleys.
You're my friend.
You call them pickets?
They're pickets.
I call them snakes. Or I call them peaks and valleys.
Well, I'm sorry.
I am
Eagle,
Union.
but
I am Union biased.
You are, and hey, right here, and I tell you, you're wrong.
Well, you heard it here first. It's a great controversy, the Civil War. It's not, is it Bull Run, is it Manassas? No.
Them are pickets, boy.
So, some Union charging through the wood side here. It looks like CSA did hold on this side. Charging finally went through on the Union side because they were half charging here.
The Union giving it their all on the flag, but how long?
Defend me,
Yep.
fatty. Defend me. Kill that guy.
Georgia, right here. Keep up independent fire. Up at him.
Oh, and it only took one miss.
No.
Get him, Hagar, get him!
Hey, kill him!
Jordan, we're shooting down the fence.
So, CSA holding the point again. And Union moving out from their spawn. They'll get a chance to hit them from behind. But they maybe only got one more shot. CSA will go down to taking losses here, but Union's closely following that.
CSA, or not
It's going to be interesting to see what this flank off to the side, south, is going to do against the CSA, but
I spent too long in the war.
will the Union be able to capitalize is the main question.
There's some rebels to the south.
Yep, eyes on those woods.
How you?
Should arrest you.
Yeah, dude.
Nice talk to you, HR.
Good luck getting past my roids, dude. It's like a fucking iron wall.
Get ready, boys.
Not a lot of in-game comm silence, I guess you could say. Seems like they cut the chatter, but
Oh, what the? First LAB. Rip.
oh my boys, chew them up, give them hell.
Completely. They're just off on their own, and
Swept.
yeah, they got swept.
Again, that seems to be one of the largest problems that either team can face. The second that any regiment, any part of a company is on its own, it's only gonna make things worse, in my opinion. The more numbers you have, the stronger presence you have on the field.
You heard it here first. Luigi hates his own regiment.
Yeah.
So, speaking of being off on their own, Union's in 4 distinct groups right now. It's a little... It'll be interesting to see. Union's got a little, like 2 minutes left. Probably a minute 45, more like.
What is me, Corporal Necro, and you?
And I don't know how they're going to coordinate trying to push into the point.
The 8th here pulled off a very impressive flank.
Oh shit, Red's right here.
Oh yeah, aim super low.
Permission to move up to the tree trunk to cover.
CSA, it's taking losses. I mean, Union's got... They really got to get to this point in the next 30 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds, or else they're not going to be able to lower it all the way. Actually, I don't... It's a problem. I don't see contention enough to really know, but I don't know if the game lets you, like, if you're lowering it and the clock hits 0, if it'll let you finish it out or not. I don't know. CSA charging from behind.
Like an
7th LA.
overtime kind of thing?
What was that?
Like overtime?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Just a couple.
Depending on what the Union can pull off here, I guess we're about to find out.
And we'll see. First LAB's back in the fight, trying to reinforce 7th LA here.
You're damn right. I love my regiment. Forget what Eagle said.
And I mean, they definitely dislodged them. 7th LA and 1st LAB did. Actually, I think they're going to defeat them.
They did some damage. They definitely whittled down their numbers, and that timer is only getting closer to the bottom.
And Union's not even trying. I mean, they got wiped back here, and CSA is going to win this point. Union's going to hit taking losses in a second. Where will the next point be? Big question.
I'm calling it. It's going to be north of the current point. It's going to be right there, right in the middle of the field.
Well,
it'd definitely give Union a... Oh, and I was wrong.
So Union almost now at taking losses. They're going to have a little advantage here. Obviously, we saw a good chunk of 5th Corps get wiped in the back, and they're going to be moving up, but they don't have a flag. At least not near the lines. Is that,
New point.
That's not the flag they were holding, right?
Where's the flag?
CSA already actually is going to have a chance to... Whoa.
I thought that would be out of bounds and despawn right away. Maybe it doesn't anymore? I don't know.
I think it might be he was out of spot, or out of bounds.
But normally the flags despawn once you die with them out of bounds, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah. People will run it out of bounds. At least I think they do. I don't 100%
That's
know.
gonna be really tough for them to get back.
Next Mythbuster video.
Straight fence left, second, let's go.
So CSA kind of making their way through the wood line right now. Union respawns getting up at a very good time. You got a good chunk of CSA kind of holding back and shooting right now. So
I feel like a lot of the time you're asking the co-commentator what they would be doing. Eagle, in this situation, if you were CSA or even Union, what would you be doing?
Union charging behind right now. I mean, Union, they have the point capped at this point. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, where they're holding now, I think it's fair enough. Even a defensive line by this barn here, or maybe a little behind it, might not be a bad idea. I mean, just holding in this area where they're holding now is pretty good. Honestly, like, since the CSA are still so far back here, even holding here is fine. Just biggest thing is if CSA try to go around the corn, which it looks like they're doing. I mean, based on where we know where the Union's at, probably CSA best approach is maybe through the corn, just because it's going to get behind the Union here. And you have some defenses here that you can use as cover. If you come through the woods, Union's going to expect you there. Obviously, we as a spectator here, we know where the Union's at. Going through the woods here is not a bad idea, right? You get a lot of cover and everything, but Union's kind of expecting you there, so...
For sure. You took the words out of my mouth. I really do think that this cornfield play is going to be the best option and yield the best results. We'll see what they can make of it.
And obviously, you got to do it as a team. That's the biggest thing to any plan working. So,
absolutely.
14th, 19th, 7th, pushing up here right now. They do have a flag.
On the right.
And they're starting to get some chip shots here, but Union really has a good defensive line here. Some CSA pushing up 20th Georgia, so they're starting to squeeze out on this side, which Union is unnecessarily falling back here.
I feel like they're trying to go in for a flank, but you already have the point. Why be aggressive?
Exactly. I mean, the point is completely exposed, and if CSA collapsed, they would win that pretty quickly. But they obviously don't know.
At this point, it's just a loss of tickets.
Triple on Drizzy, triple on Drizzy. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Regroup on Star.
Yeah, they are trying to go around for a flanking maneuver.
I mean, we'll see what comes from it, but they're definitely outnumbered. It's just how quickly can the CSA turn around.
I mean, Coffin and these 5th Corps guys have been very adamant about these flanks this whole time, and this is going to happen.
Aggressive.
I mean, we'll see if Union holds this. They're not going to be able to hold the point, at least for the moment.
Shoot them with your pistol, sir.
I'm out of rounds.
No.
Second, get into him. Second, get into him.
The artillery dead on the point there. Union holding up on that straight fence there outside the house, and despite CSA games, more Union respawns are pushing down the road, and they're going to collapse and probably defeat the CSA here.
Yeah,
what the heck?
Momentum behind them. Whoa, they're climbing over?
Whoa, that guy hopped up there.
Hold this dick, bitch.
Wow. Union are going to hold that. That was surprising.
The CSA had it just for a moment. That, oh man. They got, like you said, they got collapsed on. I guess that flank paid off after all.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it was a big thing, too, that Union respawns pushed down the road and also assisted on that flank. Biggest thing is CSA just... They definitely... I think a big thing was these Union guys here were alive for a very long time, longer than what they should have been. Obviously, yeah. I think the biggest thing is just CSA moved in too slow when they weren't aggressive enough. And obviously, when you're on the field and there's all the commotion, you're not going to see everything. It's very hard in the first place. You're not going to see like we can, where it's like, oh, it's fairly obvious that CSA controls this, but they don't know that. So
the armchair spectator, and hey, you know what? I'll be entirely honest. I love being able to do this. I love being able to see the overhead of a game. But when I'm on the ground and just fighting for my life, it really, really does show you how hard it can be that you can find your own star at times, especially in the middle of chaos like this. So
we did a broadcast. It was like a year or so ago where I was officering and someone else was spectating and recording the whole thing. I didn't win that round. It was Colquitt's defense. I was Union. Us as a Union team tried pushing down the left, going to the forest on the left side, and CSA just built a big wall and just shot us to crap. It's quite unfortunate, but maybe do a couple more of those. I think it'd be interesting.
It happens to the best of us, and hey, you know what? It's good to get your feet wet. For me, it's nice to kick my feet up. I'll say that. It's fun to watch.
Very much so. That's why I've been doing it for 2.5 years now. First MD's charging into a little bigger force than them, some may say, but
Just Alabama versus Louisiana.
Boy howdy indeed. They get wiped. And CSA, they definitely have a chance here. When did that flag go down?
Union taking a very interesting position here in the corn. That's going to be really hard for the CSA to counteract.
No CSA infantry going down this side as well. Oh, there goes one guy.
I deadass cannot hear Discord.
Why are they shooting friendlies?
That's friendlies.
Wait, what? Those are
God damn it.
Hang on, hang on.
This is the second day in a row I've seen somebody shoot friendlies at that close range. It was in pub matches in Westwoods, but
I mean, he was right there.
Yeah. CSA gunning it to the point. Going down the road. They're very blobbed up.
Fire to their side.
Second
Keep
US
them
Sharps.
boys. Find the
Some
merge.
5th Corps guys.
Watch out, dude.
We gotta charge into him. We gotta charge into him.
CSA might hit breaking throughout this push.
First MD has been very aggressive tonight, and I'm not complaining. It's fun to watch.
I agree. It's always fun to watch the more aggression, especially in a spectator mode.
Line up here. Keep shooting. Right oblique. Keep shooting.
They're going 1-for-1 right now between these fences.
So CSA kind of holding in this open field here. I mean, you have a couple in the woods and on the house as well. Union still kind of holding the traditional positions they have.
Yeah, it's my flag, brother. It's my flag.
3.5 minutes until this point is capped.
I'm worried they're going to push straight to point. They need to go and clear out this Union in the corn, otherwise they are not going to stand a chance.
Yep. Union is charging CSA artillery right now. Little side quest there. But yeah, no, you gotta control the field before going to that point. Yeah. Won't work any other way.
Oh my god.
Get the fucking gun. It's just a flesh wound. Get your fucking asses up.
Man, I wish I had cockroaches.
Holy cockroaches.
I mean, this fighting here has kind of been, it's been point blank, and
I'm amazed they're not, the CSA isn't dedicating more men to the cornfield here.
Over here, I got cornbread.
I don't know if they realize how many guys are there, especially over here, because they got a lot of Unions shooting over this way. CSA are breaking. Crap, they might go to last stand here. I mean, again, I think,
This might be a 1-to-1 tonight.
Hey, what are you doing, boy howdy? You better get out of my cornfield.
Shoot at him, shoot at him, shoot at him.
You like
Get
Dixie
fire,
now,
boys.
boys?
Get fire.
Your mom with my dick. Jeez, man.
Sorry.
Fucking wipe them out as they run. Get that flag.
and Union finally getting beat back as the CSA extends more guys on that side. 14th Tennessee pushing up. Looks like they're going to try to get to the point there, but first MD starting to go into the corn here. 14th Tennessee is
Hey,
trying.
Maryland, they're charging us. They're charging us right now, Maryland.
8 to the star.
Oh my goodness.
No, we're not.
In any game where it takes 20 seconds to get a single reload, I feel like having as much cover as you can really can tell a match very quickly. The USA holding the corn here is a very, very smart decision on their part.
Union holding the center there as first MD kind of charged out of the corn as they were being hit from behind. I mean, some CSA guys still in the cord. They're starting to win there, but Union's going to go down to breaking, but there's about a minute left on this point.
We have to push the point, gentlemen.
I would say, yep, just like Grizzly said there, if they're going to make a play, they have to do it now.
If they don't do this, they're going to lose the game.
Just need to go. You
It's do or die this moment right here. If they can take this, point, then we're gonna see what happens.
I'm lowering a cover, man.
Otherwise, I fear it's already written in stone.
Hold here,
I
hold
don't know if those Kramers said that. Kramers just got destroyed. You can see that on the top left side of your screen, his front line view. And Union artillery shining.
Move it up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Take down that flag.
30-some seconds left on the clock.
Move it up. Around the corner. Around the corner. Go, go,
They
go,
need to
go, go,
commit
go, go.
right now.
Meat wall.
Union's got a charge in here too. Yeah.
Defend, boys.
Wait, counter charge.
I
Union hitting.
fear that.
I wonder if that prevents a cap if he knocks someone over.
Yep.
Hey, last stand.
That's gonna be nigh impossible to come back from.
Yeah, no, this is pretty much the game. I mean, where's the next point? Not like it matters. Oh yeah, definitely game.
Yeah, it's over.
I mean,
Oh,
this is a very good round.
I absolutely, and I will die on this hill. I absolutely love watching contention. I feel like it is one of the more underrated of the 3 game modes, and it's very interesting to see how regimental
Hey,
leaders
rebels!
can
No, friendly,
adapt.
friendly!
I would agree. With these changes as of late, I really don't like the changes when it comes to skirmish, but for contention and conquest, I think it's made the game modes much more enjoyable. The faster respawns, higher pop servers. Yeah, I think it's been great for this game mode because tickets don't really matter anymore. On higher pop servers, each death is worth less tickets. So it really makes teams focus on the flags instead of worrying about every individual death your team has, which I really appreciate. I think it makes the game modes a lot better.
Just like we saw before with First MD pulling off that massive flank on the CSA, it really shows that it gives certain regimental leaders, if they can blob up enough men, the power to sway a point in their team's favor.
For sure. I mean, do you have any more thoughts about this round as it's closing up here? It's going to be done within a minute and a half here.
You know, I think it was well played by both sides. Both the Union did some amazing defense this round, and the CSA absolutely bared their teeth and really just fought like lions. I think it was a lot of fun to watch, and this is what I live for right here. This is why I keep coming back. These little skirmishes right here where you just headbutt the enemy. This is what I love to see, and it was an absolute blast to be here. Thank you, Eagle.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on again. It's always a blast to have you here. If anyone watching would ever want to come on and co-commentate, just join the Discord and message myself as Guardian Eagle, and we'd love to set that up. It's always great having people on, just talk about whatever. So, in terms of this round, I think the MVP is really the first MD, coffin kill with those flanking maneuvers the whole round. They worked nearly every time. It was very impressive. Good fought round on both sides. Union just kind of prevailing in the end. Sure, the 1 point was in CSA's favor, but a lot of them was in Union favor, and they did exactly what they need to do. So, great 2 rounds tonight. Again, thanks to Ghost Antietam for letting me join. Thanks, Kramer and Fatty, for your guys' first-person views. It's always nice to see what they can see in game versus on the sky. But besides that, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, check out the description where we have our Patreon and get live streams of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment on the bottom of our videos and get raw gameplay footage of all the events we cover with no commentary and UI. Top of that, we got our merch and our Discord there and all the regiments that participated in this video. But thank you all for being here. It means the world to have you all watch. It's fun to do this, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night.
Well played, everyone.